1.4 of Module 1. In this particular topic, we will learn briefly about connective tissue. During the course of this video, try and answer as many questions as you can from Module 1, Topic 1.4. Please take a moment to consider the learning objectives for this session. Connective tissue is the most abundant and widely distributed tissue in our body. It is continuous and connects all the various bits of the body together, providing protection and support to the organs and muscles. Connective tissue also acts as a conduit for nerves and blood vessels to pass through. Almost all of the connective tissue, other than one exception, adipose tissue, are comprised of living cells surrounded by an extensive, non-living extracellular matrix. It is this matrix that determines the function of these connective tissues. The extracellular matrix can be hard, tough, loose, delicate, or fluid-like in nature, depending on the type of connective tissue. Compared to epithelial tissue, the cells of connective tissue are located deep inside the body and are hardly exposed to any carcinogens or dangerous chemicals. Hence, there is little risk of developing a sarcoma, which is another term for a cancer of the connective tissue. The most important point to remember about connective tissue is the extracellular matrix is produced by the cells of the connective tissue and determines the tissue function, which is quite the opposite to epithelial tissue, where the structure and arrangement of the cells determine the function. There are four basic types of connective tissue in our body. Connective tissue proper encompasses all organs and body cavities. It is subdivided into loose and dense connective tissue. Bone tissue supports and protects body structures and is found in two different forms, compact bone and spongy bone. There are three different types of cartilage found in our body: hyaline, elastic, and fibrocartilage. And finally, blood transports nutrients and respiratory gases throughout the body and contains red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets in a fluid matrix called plasma. It is important to note that all the connective tissues in our body originates from the mesenchyme, an embryonic tissue. Mesenchymal stem cells differentiate into specific connective tissue cells. For example, fibroblasts essentially produce the fibers, and the fibrocyte is the cell associated with it. Chondroblasts produce cartilage. A chondrocyte is a cell ready to make cartilage if needed. Osteoblast secretes the gel-like substance that is calcified with inorganic salts to form bone. And when an osteoblast is embedded into the material it has secreted, it becomes an osteocyte. Finally, all the cells in our blood come from the hemopoietic stem cells. Connective tissue proper is subdivided into loose connective tissue and dense connective tissue, and we'll explore those a little bit more now. Loose connective tissue is a delicate network of three fiber types: elastic, collagenous, and reticular fibers. Loose connective tissue can be found almost in every part of our body. It is situated under the layer of epithelial cells covering an organ or tissue. The majority of cells in loose connective tissues are fibroblasts that actively secrete the elastic and collagen fibers. White blood cells, such as macrophages, neutrophils, and plasma cells, are also here to defend against disease-causing microorganisms. It also has adipocytes that store nutrients in the form of fat. Loose connective tissue also acts as a conduit for nerves and capillaries, and is often called the universal packing because of its presence on all the tissues in our body. The loose nature of areolar connective tissue allows it to act as a reservoir of water and salts for surrounding body tissues. In certain conditions, excess amount of fluids enters into the loose connective tissue, causing it to swell, and this condition is called edema. As mentioned before, the loose connective tissue is a gel-like matrix that has all three fiber types. It also holds cells such as fibroblasts, fat cells, and several other white cell types. The primary function of loose connective tissue is to wrap and cushion organs, to provide protection against bacteria and also hold tissue fluid. Adipose tissue is the only connective tissue where the extracellular matrix does not primarily determine the function of the tissue. Adipocytes, commonly known as fat cells, account for 90% of the tissue mass. Their thin cell wall holds most of the fat inside the cell. Mature adipocytes are among the largest cells in the body and have the ability to become plumper or wrinkled as they take up or release fat. Adipose tissue is richly vascularized, indicating its high metabolic activity. It acts as an energy store and provides physical protection to several organs, such as the kidneys and the eyeballs. Furthermore, as fat is a bad conductor of heat, it prevents heat loss from our body. Dense regular connective tissue contains closely packed bundles of collagen fibers running in the same direction, parallel to each other. This arrangement makes the tissue flexible and tough. Crowded between collagen fibers are rows of fibroblasts, capable of manufacturing fibers when needed. Dense, regular connective tissue has an enormous tensile strength. It forms tendons, which attach muscles to bones and muscles to muscles. And it can also form ligaments that bind bones together at joints. However, ligaments contain more elastic fibers than tendons, and are therefore slightly more stretchy. Aponeuroses are flat, sheet-like tendons that attach muscles to other muscles or bones. Dense, irregular connective tissue has the same structural elements as regular connective tissue. However, the bundles of collagen are much thicker and are arranged irregularly with small amounts of elastic fibers. The tissue is scattered with fibroblasts that produce collagen fibers. This type of tissue forms sheets in body areas where tension is exerted from many different directions. It can be found in the skin as the leathery dermis, and also in the fibrous capsules that surround some organs such as the kidneys, bones, and nerves. Bone, or osseous tissue, has an exceptional ability to support and protect our body structures. Bone is highly vascular and innervated with sensory nerves. The extracellular matrix of bone is hard and calcified due to the deposition of inorganic calcium salts. It is also rich in collagen fibers. The osteoblasts produce this organic portion of the matrix. The mature bone cells, or osteocytes, reside in the lacunae within the matrix. The lamella surrounding the central canal holds blood vessels and nerves. Some of the key functions of bone is to assist in movement by acting as levers for skeletal muscle. They also help in maintaining body shape and posture, and hold and protect several important organs inside of it, such as the skull, which protects the brain, and the rib cage, which holds the heart and lungs. The bones also possess marrow that is crucial for the production of red and white blood cells. Finally, bone acts as a calcium store that can release calcium, which is a crucial metabolic mediator. There are 3 different types of cartilage in the body: hyaline, elastic, and fibrocartilage. Cartilage has some unique qualities, and it can endure both tension and compression. It is flexible and tough at the same time, providing a resilient rigidity. Cartilage is also avascular and has no nerve fibers in it. The matrix of cartilage holds an exceptional amount of tissue fluid, with up to 80% of cartilage comprised of water. Chondroblasts are the predominant cell types that produce cartilage, and we'll investigate each of these separately now. Hyaline cartilage is the most abundant kind of cartilage in our body. It contains a large number of collagen fibers. Chondroblasts produce the matrix of the cartilage, and when mature, the chondrocytes can be seen in the lacunae. Hyaline cartilage has supporting and cushioning properties. It covers the ends of long bones, providing spongy pads that absorb compression at joints. It also forms the tip of our nose, connects the ribs to the sternum, and supports airways of the respiratory system. Importantly, it also forms the embryonic skeleton before the bone tissue replaces it. The following figure shows the location of hyaline cartilage in our body, such as the connections between the ribs and the sternum, and the respiratory tubes shown here. Fibrocartilage has a matrix that is similar to hyaline cartilage, but is less firm. It is also packed with the collagen fibers that surrounds chondrocytes. Because it is compressible and resists tension very well, fibrocartilage is found where strong support and availability to withstand heavy pressure are required. For example, the intervertebral discs and the spongy cartilage in the knee. And the following diagram shows that. So it shows the location of fibrocartilage, such as those intervertebral discs and the spongy cartilage of the knee. Blood is the most atypical connective tissue. It does not give mechanical support, but it is classified as connective tissue because it develops from the mesenchyme and also connects all the cells in the body. Blood consists of cells that are surrounded by a non-living fluid matrix called plasma. The primary function of blood is to transport respiratory gases, nutrients, and metabolic waste. Leukocytes in our blood defend our body from infections and pathogens. From this video, we have covered the 4 basic types of connective tissue, and we have learnt the structure, function, and location of the loose, dense, regular, and dense, irregular connective tissue proper, bone, different kinds of cartilage and their location in our body, and finally, blood and its function.